Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Dallas Wings, my WNBA franchise here on NBA 2K26, where today the Dallas Wings are going to start the episode by jumping back into the Commissioner's Cup tournament, where we've done very good up to this point, sitting at 4-0. But we have a tough task starting off in front of us against the Las Vegas Aces. Later in the episode, we'll go to Connecticut for the matchup against the Suns. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more MyWNBA content. I've been loving the series so far, and I hope you guys have as well. I've had a lot of fun making it. Now, unfortunately, in the last episode, we did get a couple of wins, but we've also lost a couple games, and we're hoping to right the ship this week against Las Vegas, who looks like the team to beat, in my opinion, this year in the W. Here's a look at their lineup, absolutely stacked, and that's while missing 3-star players, including A'ja Wilson, who's out with a broken nose for the next month. So she will not be in the game today. They will also be missing Olivia Nelson-Ododa and Jewel Lloyd. So despite the 3 injuries, this is still a scary Aces team and a team that we're competing for in a spot in the Commissioner's Cup Finals. The Aces are 3-1 right now, while we are 4-0, one of the 2 undefeated teams left in the Commissioner's Cup. But a loss here would hurt our chances a lot. So we'll go down to Las Vegas, where the 8-4 Dallas Wings will face the 8-2 Las Vegas Aces. A chance for us to prove that we are one of the top teams now in the W and prove that we are indeed making progress and can hang with the elite of the elite, because a lot of our wins, to be honest, have been against some of these subpar teams. We have beaten Phoenix once this year, but I mean, if you look at our 4 losses, they're to the Mercury twice, the Sparks, and the Lynx. So essentially all the top teams in the WNBA. So a statement win here would go a long way for our team's confidence as well. So we're here. Here's a look at the starting lineups for the Aces. It'll be Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Ryan Howard, Nneka Ogwumike, and Elizabeth Williams. And one of the matchups we'll look at is Bonner versus Howard. Howard has been great since signing over in the offseason, but Bonner, despite her numbers not being high, has played great defense. So we'll see if she can shut down Ryan Howard in this offense. As we're here for tip-off, and we're underway. It's won by the Aces, and we'll get this one started. And on the first possession of the game, it'll start with a 3-ball for Jackie Young, the 4-time All-Star, gets the scoring started. First possession for the Wings. I'll pick and roll. Finds Maisha Hines-Allen inside for an easy 2. That's a good play there. 3-2 now as we're about a minute into this game, almost 2 minutes. Bueckers swings it over to Bonner for 3, and she knocks it down. The former Phoenix Mercury and 3-time WNBA champion gets a tray ball. 5-3 now your score. Chelsea Gray gets inside with the score and knotted up at 5 apiece. Now 7 off as Bueckers with it, trying to go isolation here. Drives left side, and she beats her defender to the basket. Bueckers, one of the quickest players in the W with the ball in her hands. 9-7 now as there's a missed 3. It's rebounded by Bonner, and she'll look to push the pace for the Wings. Trying to drive on Ogwumike, gets a screen to the basket. She goes, and she's got 5 through the first portion of this quarter. 11-7 now your score. A handoff for Bueckers, who drives and splits the defenders, and it's 13-7 Dallas. Off to a hot start. Paige averaging 30 points per game this season, by the way. Here is one of the newest Aces, Nneka Ogwumike, who gets inside. Came over from Seattle on a 2-year contract to join an Ace squad looking for another championship. Here she is toasting Bueckers inside. Gets a rebound after a missed shot, and she knocks it up and in on the second try. So now 17-11. Ogwumike for 3, and she knocks it down. The former 2016 MVP trying to lead the way for the Aces with all the injuries. Bueckers, though, not to be outdone, nails a 3-ball of her own. It's now 20-14 as we go to the end of the first quarter. 22-16 your score in favor of Dallas. A solid start to this game as we lead by 6 after the first frame. Getting into the second quarter now. Here's Segrist down low on the low post. Misses the shot. The Aces with the rebound, looking to push the pace up to Leonard. Meets James, hands it off for Megan Gustafson, and she will lay it up and in. Gustafson averaging 7.7 points per game off the bench this year for the Aces. Wimbawale now hits the long 2. Get it back up to 6-point lead for the Wings. Next possession here for the Aces. Nice pick and roll. Finds Gustafson again inside. Remember, Segrist is still dealing with that hip injury, so she's a little slow on these pick and rolls. Here she is on the offensive side of things. Runs into Gustafson, spins off her, and nails the shot. Okay, Maddie, good offensive play there for the former Villanova Wildcats. And the Aces call a timeout. 26-20 now your score after the other side of the intermission. Here's a nice shot by Ogumake to get 2 more. She's got 11, half her team's points. Next possession here for the Aces. Nye working on Gumbawale. Nice cross-up by Nye, who gets inside and scores. That's Aaliyah Nye, the second-year pro out of Alabama. Now a 2-point lead here for the Wings. Harris inside finds a cutting Bueckers, who puts it up and in. 28 now to 24. 28-26. Inside, intercepted by Bonner, who gets in the passing lane. Bueckers leaks out on the other side, and she's got an easy 2. Good defense turns into good offense. 33-28 now. As you can see, Bueckers has entered takeover mode, and that's always a scary sight for their team as she crosses up number 12 and gets her to touch the ground. That was Chelsea Gray. She missed the shot and then got her ankles hooked by Bueckers. Trying to do it against Ogumake and gets the soft touch. This is what happens when Paige enters takeover mode. She's got 19 points. 7-point lead here for the Wings, but it'll make it a 4 thanks to the 3-ball from Ogumake, who's played great this game. Matched up against Harris, draws a double team, kicks it out to Chelsea Gray, who knocks down the 3, the 2022 Finals MVP, with a nice shot as we'll go to the end of the first half. The Wings lead a tightly contested matchup. It's now 37-36 as both teams continue to trade shots back and forth. As you can see at the halftime break, both teams shooting the ball pretty solidly. Bueckers leads all scorers with 19, but Ogumake, one behind her with 18, leads the way for the Aces. And a matchup that's proven worth of the billing in today's episode. Into the second half we go, starting off with the Aces with the ball. Here's Elizabeth Williams on the left side, gets it to Gray. As Harris tried to intercept the pass, she cannot. And it leads to the Aces retaking the lead. Bueckers now with it, gets the lead right back for Dallas. Gets an easy 2 points, 39-38. Ogumawale now drives inside. She will extend the lead off the pick and roll, as she has 8 points on the game. Aces on the other end, though. Ogumawale does not get back, and Jackie Young gets a nice easy 2 for the 2019 number 1 overall pick out of Notre Dame. 1-point lead here for the Wings. Bueckers drives inside, kicks it out for Bonner, who hits the 3. Good vision by Bueckers to see the crashing defender. Finds Bonner open in the corner for 3. It's a 2-point lead now here for the Wings. Chelsea Gray working isolation here on Harris. Drives left, step back. That is a thing of beauty. Gray hits the shot, ties us up at 44 as the crowd starts to come alive. Harris off the screen, and she will give the Wings the lead right back, and Las Vegas will call timeout. 46-46 now your score as Ogumawale's intercepted, throws it right to Howard, drives inside, kicks it back to Elizabeth Williams, hop step, and Aces have the lead. The former Sky with the bucket, thanks to the good hands by Ryan Howard. Tied up at 48 again. Here's Jackie Young with it off the screen, gets by Ogumawale, gets hit it and 1. Enrique call for the foul. The Aces will hit the and 1 as it's now 51-48. Bueckers with a shot, misses. Hines Allens, though, nice rebound, puts it up and in. Lead back down to 1. 53-52 now. Inside for Bueckers. Nice touch pass by Harris. And Dallas gets the lead right back as these teams continue to trade punches. On the other end, Ogumake with a nice 1. That looked like a Dirk Nowitzki type shot. Gives the Aces the lead. 57-56, trying to intercept the pass for Williams. They cannot. Segrist inside and fouls Williams with another and 1 for Las Vegas. They'll push their lead up to 3, but it's only a 1-point lead as we go to the end of the third quarter, this time in favor of Las Vegas. And what was an exciting third quarter, and a game that looks like it's going to be an exciting end to it as you go into the final frame. Dallas with the ball here, screen for Ogumawale, who gets inside, and there goes Dallas again. Regain the lead, she's got 10. Ogumawale back with it on the next Dallas possession. Cuts inside, finds Segrist on the pick and roll, and it's now a 3-point lead here for the Wings as Ogumawale running the offense pretty well right now. Gustafson, though, will get 2 right back. She scores at the point of attack, and it's a 1-point lead again. Lead now up to 5 here. Starters back in the game. You can see Bueckers guarding Starks as they swing it over to Nye. Inside for Ogumake, matched up against Ogumawale, and that is a mismatch as Nneka Ogumake, the 10-time All-Star, puts it up and in. 3-point lead here for the Aces. Actually, for the Wings, Nye tries to cut into that lead, and she will score at the basket. Nice drop step there, and it's a 1-point lead. 68-67. The Wings try to answer. Agumbawale inside, swings over to Harris for three in the corner, and she's got it. 71-67. Clutch shot there by Tasha Harris. The bench loves it. As here come the Aces trying to counter right back. They find Starks inside, and she will score. That is Grace Starks, the second-round rookie out of Arkansas, who gets on the board, and Dallas will call a timeout. Inside 4 to play. Now a 4-point lead. Chelsea Gray over to Young in the corner. Nobody picks her up, and she knocks down the corner tray. Huge shot as the lead is within 1. Inside for Hines Allen. There's a nice score as Williams tried to go for the interception and couldn't get the ball. Lead still at 1. This time Hines Allen goes for the interception. She can't, and in a role reversal is Elizabeth Williams who scores and gives the Aces the lead. 76-75. Now 90 seconds to go. Agumake calls for it inside over Harris, and she's got it. Clutch is the Neko Agumake's 26 points here for the Aces. They have a 3-point lead inside a minute. That ball's tipped around over to Howard. Somehow Agumake comes up with it, and she knocks down the shot. And with 40 seconds, that would be the dagger. The Aces win this game by a final score of 86-80, ending the perfect run in the in-season tournament for the Wings. We lose a game that we were in control of into the fourth quarter. But that's what champions do. They dig deep, and they force a way to win. The Aces get it done off the back of Nneka Ogwumike, who played like the 2016 MVP that she was 10 years ago. Led the way with 28 points on 12 of 17 shooting. This team, when Asia Wilson comes back, as well as Jewel Lloyd and Nelson Ododa, I can only imagine how scary this team will be. Bueckers led the way with 31 points, a couple of other Wings in the double figures, but it just was not enough to beat the Aces. Other scores, we see the Fever knock off the Mercury, and then the Valkyries beat the Sky by 20 before the Liberty absolutely destroy the Tempo in Toronto. Other games, we see the Spark beat the Lynx on the road, big win there for LA, and then the Dream beat Washington. The next day, only one game is the Storm beating the Fire, who are still winless, before the Sun beat the Tempo. Connecticut 11-3 now, and the Liberty over to Fever. We get some good injury news. Brittany Griner is fully healthy. We've missed her, so she'll be back in the next game, but we would not be fully healthy for long, as Isaiah James would sprain her left ankle, and she will miss a couple of days. But we do beat LA 79-77. You can see the Sparks made a comeback, but we were able to get the victory as Agumbawale led the way with 17 points. Other scores, the Lynx beat the Dream in overtime, 65-61, and the Aces knock off the Sky. Liberty win a close one in Golden State, 78-76, and then the Aces lose to the Storm. Ogumake's return to Seattle does not go according to plan as Malangna leads the way, and the Storm get an upset win over the Aces. So that's a big win for the Storm, while the Fire are still winless, losing by 42 today to Phoenix. Yikes. We'll now head to Connecticut to face the 11-3 Sun. Easily the biggest surprise of the season thus far has been how well this Connecticut Sun has played. 11-3 is a solid record. They will be without Ari McDonald, though, their starting point guard, so that's one miss for the Sun. But we're here at the Mohegan Sun Arena for the 9-5 Dallas Wings to face the 11-3 Connecticut Sun. I like what this team has done. Right now, new coach Austin Kelly has got to be the favorite for Coach of the Year for the turnaround he's led with this Sun squad, because these two teams last year were the bottom two teams in the W, and now both are playing over 500. But we're underway here in Connecticut. Paige with the ball. Again, it's always a little bit of a homecoming for her when she comes back to this arena, considering she played her college ball with the UConn Huskies. It would be Brittany Griner who gets started on our end, while it would be Sanaya Rivers who gets started on the Suns' end. Tied up at 2-2 now. Here's Shakira Austin who gets inside, and she scores. Austin was traded at the deadline last year to the Fever, did not stick around. Instead, followed assistant head coach Austin Kelly to Connecticut in the offseason on a 4-year deal. Obviously, they built some sort of chemistry, and she wanted to stay loyal. 6-4 lead now as Griner's got her second bucket. Six has been on the other side. Here's Sims with a wild miss, but it's up and put back in. Nice play by number 7. That's Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, the former ace. Connecticut now leads 10-11. Is off the miss. The Wings are out and running. Hines Allen at the three-point line finds a cutting Bonner, and she will score. Bonner's second bucket of the game. Obviously, she played a little bit of her time here in Connecticut as well. We got a couple of former Suns on the team. This isn't one of them, but Maddie Segrist gets the score. You can see she's almost fully recovered from her hip injury. 16-13 now. Gubawale crosses up and gets inside, extends her lead to 5. On the other end, Elizabeth Kitley goes and scores over Maddie Segrist. Still working on that defensive game for Segrist. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter where the Wings lead this one 18-15. A 3-point lead for the road squad. But all in all, it's been a pretty tightly contested ball game between these two teams. We'll get into the second now as here's Connecticut with the ball. On the left side, swings it over to Walker Kimbrough for 3, and she's got it. Deep shot for Shatori Walker Kimbrough, the former Atlanta Dream, and ties it up at 18. On the other same end, swing it over to Walker Kimbrough, over to Nadia Chandler, the rookie who nails a 3-ball of her own. And now Connecticut leads by 3. See if Dallas can stop this momentum swing. It's a screen for Gubawale, who has a wide open lane, so she'll cut it to within 1. This game's already been back and forth. We've had 7 ties and 7 lead changes, and there's actually an injured Sun on that pick and roll play, so they'll call a timeout. Now a 1-point lead for Connecticut. Here's Aaliyah Edwards getting inside. She scores and moves it up to a 3-point lead. Swinging the ball around Diamond Miller in the corner, nails the 3-ball. And again, we have another tie, 23 all. After getting a stop on the other end, the Wings have the chance to retake the lead. Agumbawale off the screen, finds Segrist, puts it up, and it will rattle in. And Dallas does take the lead, 25-23. Next possession here for the Sun. 3-ball for Holmes is no good, but it'll be tipped in by Elizabeth Kitley, who's done a very good job down there in the low post. Tied up again. Taylor Santos, the number 1 overall pick, will give the lead right back to Dallas. She gets inside and scores. Then Agumbawale does the same thing, but gives it up to Segrist, who gets an and a 1. Kitley fouls her. It's now 30-27. Edwards inside, swings it over to Sanaya Rivers, who scores. Rivers has had a rough season. The second-year pro at NC State's only averaging 4.8 points per game, but she's been very good today. Off the miss, here come the Sun looking to run over to Rivers, who blows right by Harris and will score. Connecticut's hoping to see more of that for the former NC State Wolfpack, as that will be the play as to why they drafted her so high. As there's an and 1 call now on Odyssey Sims, the former Fever, who was signed just a couple weeks ago to fill the depth before the injury to McDonald. And then the Sun hit a tray ball, and they now lead 35-30. Dallas is forced to call timeout. So 5-point deficit. Bueckers, though, will hit a 3 of her own. It cuts it to within 2. Nice job getting open off the ball, but Dallas does not get back. They tried to go over the top, but no time is enough as Connecticut will take a 2-point lead to half, 37-35 to score. Definitely a very back-and-forth contest. We've had essentially 10 lead changes and 10 ties. Here's a look at the stats for us. It's Bueckers who leads the way with 11. Sanaya, like the aforementioned, 10 points for the all-team rookie last year. Sun are hoping to see more of that play going into the second portion of the season. We'll get into the second portion of our game now, as here's a pump fake by Paige, and that's going to get her the space to drive inside. You cannot leave your feet when Paige pump fakes you. She will blow by you with ease. Still a 2-point lead, though, for the Sun. This ball's tipped. Somehow Bueckers ends up with it, saves it from out of bounds, and scores with the ball. So sometimes there's just nothing you can do. She's got 15. 39 up, but not for long, as there's a 3 for Sanaya Rivers, who keeps up her hot streak, leads all Connecticut scores in this game, as the bench was loving it. Here's beautiful transition offense for the Sun, as Odyssey Sims scores inside, and Dallas has to call a timeout. Like I mentioned earlier, Sims was signed a couple weeks ago from the Fever last year. Again, has ties with Coach Kelly, and it's paid off thus far. There's a nice pick and roll for Shakira Austin to score inside. It's now a 7-point lead for the Sun, their largest lead of the day. But Harris will cut right into that, who hits a 3. Harris, another former Connecticut Sun on this team. And then on the pick and roll, Shakira Austin will score inside. 6-point lead here for the Sun. Harris back with the basketball, though, and she will score this time inside. She's got a quick 5 here in the third quarter. 4-point lead here for the Sun. Screen for Sims, who finds Parker Tyus inside and will score. We struggle sometimes with that pick and roll defense on the big, and it's paid off for the Sun a couple of times. Now a 4-point lead. This time Sanaya Rivers just blows right by the defense. Look how quick she was with the basketball. Now a 6-point lead again for the Sun. Bonner gets inside but gets rejected. Austin's there to meet her. On the other end, Rivers leaks out, and she takes it right to Paige and scores. And now Connecticut leads by 8, 17 points for Sanaya Rivers, and the Sun Arena is loving it. 56-48, Sims dribbles and gets by Paige and scores. She's now in takeover mode. And we'll go to the end of the third quarter. It is a 10-point lead here for the Sun, their largest lead of the ball game, as they are firing on all cylinders. Playing good offense, good defense, great transition play. They're kicking at all levels. So we need to come back in this game, so we'll start with Paige getting an easy 2 points. Makes it an 8-point lead, but we got to play some defense, and that's not what's going to play right here. Kitley gets inside and scores. Gets by Segrist easy. 62-52, missed by Miller. Sun looking to push it in transition. Kimbrough finds Edwards inside. Miller doesn't get back in time, and that's an easy 2. The Sun now lead by a dozen. 64-52, Segrist inside will score, so that'll get it back to a 10-point deficit. Next possession here for the Wings. You can see Bueckers working on her former college teammate and Edwards, and Paige will win that battle. Edwards played great defense, but Paige sometimes is just too good. 8-point lead, now a 6-point lead as the Wings starting to mount a comeback here. Segrist still favoring that hip a little bit, and she gets the 2 points. Off the miss here. Segrist had position, but Kitley just goes up and grabs the ball over her. That's a big putback for the Sun. Off the miss from MyWNBA. Rivers with the rebound, going the other way. Finds Edwards cutting inside, and she scores. We've seen Miller a couple of times have a hard time keeping up with Aaliyah Edwards, and it's resulted in a couple of easy baskets. Here, MyWNBA is able to get inside, catches Rivers reaching. 8-point deficit, a 3-ball miss. Kitley gets it, and she will score. Now a 10-point lead for the Sun. The offensive rebounds coming up huge. Inside 3 minutes to go here. Rivers, 3-ball, knocks it down. It's an 11-point lead with 2:40 to go. And that would essentially be your dagger. The Sun win this game 80-67 here at home. And I was impressed by what I saw out of Connecticut. I thought maybe, hey, 11-3, we can play them. Maybe we'll expose them for being a little fraudulent. I was completely wrong about this. This Sun team is good. They're young. They're quick. New coach Austin Kelly has had this team balling, and their chemistry is on point. They know where each other are at all times, and it resulted in them beating us here today. Rivers led the way with 21 points, her best game of the season. Austin had a double-double. She owned Griner inside, I have to say, this game. And the Sun look like a team that they can definitely compete this year in the WNBA. We were led by Paige's 23 points. Segrist had 13, second place. Other than that, not a lot of people stood out. Let's go to some more scores here, where the Sky beat the Mystiques, and the Fire then lose to the Fever by 42, I should say. The Liberty beat the Sparks, and the Lynx knock off the Dream by 41. Segrist is now fully healthy, so at least her hip won't be bothering her anymore. And then we go and we beat the Fire 90-77, where Griner leads the way with 16, as well as Segrist. Both of them had double-doubles, as the Fire are still winless. We see the Fever then beat the Storm. The Mercury go to New York and win 93-71. And the Sun beat the Aces, again proving that they belong with the top teams. Inklister had 17 to lead the way. Moore had a double-double. Aces Howard led the way, but only with 11. And the Sun knock off one of the title favorites. The Mystiques then beat the Tempo, and the Sparks won a close one against in-state rival Golden State. We also get news that Isaiah James is fully healthy, so we're actually looking pretty good in the health department. The Lynx then beat the Dream on the road, and the Aces get a win back against the Washington Mystiques. We would then play the Valkyries, and we would lose this game at home, 90-73. Golden State shot the ball extremely well. 30 points for Alyssa Smith on 13-19 shooting, and we drop on at home to a team we should have beat. The Mercury then beat the Tempo by 30. The Fever beat the Sun. Big win for Indiana against a red-hot Sun team. The Storm then beat the Sky by 20. That kind of came out of nowhere. And the Sparks over the Liberty. And we rounded up with Minnesota dominating Washington. Next episode, we will start by hitting the road to face the 0-16 Portland Fire. I know we've played the Fire this year already, but I do want to go to the Moda Center and see what their new team at home looks like with the new court and kind of show it off to you guys in actual gameplay. And hopefully we're not the first team to hand the Fire their first win. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more MyWNBA content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.